Chapter 12, roll with it. You know I like contradiction, so it shouldn't surprise you that one of the most important concepts I want you to keep in mind is dramatically opposed to some of the ideas I've shared with you up till now. I've repeated over and over that in order to build a winning business, you have to go whole hog with your passion. True. I've said that if you don't plan ahead and decide exactly what you want and where you want to see your business end up, you're broken. Still true. But what is also true is that as committed and obsessed to the goal as an entrepreneur needs to be, they also have to be willing to practice what I call reactionary business, which at the heart is about being willing and able to adapt to change. This is where most companies and business people lose the game, by refusing to admit their mistakes or neglecting to look ahead to see what could negatively impact their business. Nothing in life ever goes exactly the way you think it will, and that goes for all the carefully planned entrepreneurial dreams and goals. Reactionary business allows you to make a couple of crucial moves when the landscape changes. Please be ready to adapt. You'd be surprised at how many entrepreneurs aren't good at adjusting to the changing environment, and it's a major reason why so many businesses don't achieve their full potential. I see it all the time. Someone with ambition and talent decides she's going to be the Martha Stewart of kid-friendly sandwiches, and then all of a sudden discovers that somewhere along the line, she reached a core group of beer-drinking dudes who religiously watch her show. Instead of embracing that demo and adapting, she refuses to acknowledge it and keeps making fish-shaped cheese. Maybe she does fine with her blog catering to the kiddie set, but can you imagine how much bigger this ambitious person's business could have been if she had given up a day of the week to prepare sandwiches for the perfect tailgate? A perfect real-life example of a brand that drew an unnecessary line in the sand in regarding to positioning was the champagne known as Cristal. Starting in the late 90s, the upscale champagne was enthusiastically adopted by the hip-hop community. But instead of embracing and leveraging the attention, the managing director indicated in an interview with The Economist that he preferred to distance himself from those people known as rappers and their fans, saying, "We can't forbid people from buying it. I'm sure Dom Perignon and Krug would be delighted to have their business." He had the chance to cultivate a golden opportunity to capture major market share, and instead he killed it. Because smart and influential entertainers like Jay-Z and P. Diddy were rightfully offended by the guy's attitude and organized a very effective boycott against the brand. Put out fires. Now, reactionary business has nothing to do with social media. Everyone in business should practice it even if they're decided to completely ignore social networks. A stupid idea, but one that a lot of established brands are following. Actually, less and less since I wrote this book. On the other hand, all of these social networking platforms turbo boost your ability to be reactionary, not only by enabling you to guide your brand to where it naturally fits or where you discover pockets of interest, but by giving you a lot of power to put out fires. For example, I was seen all over ESPN after the NFL draft booing Mark Sanchez's pick by the New York Jets. It looked like I was hating on the pick and the player, which wasn't true. I didn't know the details of the trade when I saw the team go from the 17th pick to the 5th pick. I assumed that the Jets had given up the whole world to get Sanchez, and that's what was bothering me. Turns out that wasn't the case. The Jets actually made an amazing trade, but I felt bad that everyone, including Sanchez, got to see that and misunderstood my reaction. 5 years ago, I couldn't have fixed this misconception, but thanks to social media, the Monday after the draft, I was able to use my biggest platform, Wine Library TV, to clarify what I thought. A more relevant example can be found in the way Domino's used YouTube to respond to the negative publicity they suffered after 2 employees shot a video of themselves doing disgusting things with food before serving it to customers. A lot of people pointed to this story as the evidence of the downside to social media because 2 idiots were able to blast a negative image of a company out to thousands, hundreds of thousands of customers within minutes. But the Domino's brand didn't get hurt. Anyone with half a brain knows that morons work everywhere, and this could happen at any fast food restaurant. No one wants people messing with their food, and of course, the employees responsible should be punished, but their actions didn't hurt the brand. In fact, I think Domino's helped their brand by showing great reactionary business instincts. I respect how fast they got into the trenches and responded in the same medium as the crime that was committed, with a video from YouTube. Good for CEO Patrick Doyle, who in his address appears to be a pretty traditional corporate guy, gamely trying to fight fire with fire. Next time, Mr. Doyle, try to look in the camera and lose a script. It would make a huge difference. CEOs and business managers clearly don't need to have power meetings anymore with their PR departments to discuss how to handle a problem like this one. They should know what they want to say and then say it. Successfully dealing with a situation like this is all about speed, honesty, and transparency. I saw this as a great opportunity for Domino's to flip this situation on its head. They and every other fast food restaurant should open up their kitchens to live stream and that anyone can watch it, including while waiting in line for their order of pizza. To me, adapting in this way to the reality that cell phones and flip cams are always going to make their way behind the scenes of any restaurant would be an example of reactionary business. Shape your story. Thanks to social network platforms, your story is going to get told, unfiltered, whether you like it or not. You can no longer control the message, but that's not a bad thing unless you work for a closed-minded PR company. As far as I'm concerned, the biggest hurdle for most corporate brands today is their dependence on PR people. They're terrified of the unfiltered message, but what they should do is encourage it. Every employee of every company should have a Facebook account where they can talk about their work and the company, in addition to whatever else they want. Let people gripe. Let them air their frustrations. Don't wait for exit interviews to find out what your staff really thinks. Tap into the pulse of the company and start making changes right away. Yes, there are websites dedicated to allowing people to air their dirty laundry, but people should be allowed to hang their dirty laundry on their own clothesline. Empowering your employees to communicate is a great thing. If you suppress their urge to talk, you're only weakening your brand from within by limiting the access to information. Really think of this as communist. When you know what people are saying and thinking about your brand, you can address it. If you see falsehood, you can correct it. If you see praise, you can show your appreciation. If you see confusion, you can inform. Your empowerment doesn't stop with your staff or your customers either. It used to be that you were at the mercy of the media with no say in how they told your story. If you didn't like the picture that was painted, you were kind of stuck. Now you can fight the media itself with these new tools, your blog, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Now you can do a live press conference on Ustream, whereas 10 years ago, you could try, but it was always a gamble whether anybody would show up with a TV camera or not. Trend spotting. Some entrepreneurs are really into creating the next big thing. Not me, really. I'm about identifying the next big thing and jumping all over it. To me, honing your ability to act on waxing and waning social and cultural trends is a major reactionary business move. Some people are born with good trend spotting intuition. My whole life, I've been able to see something and just feel that it's going to be big. I felt it for baseball cards, toy collecting, comic books, wine, for the internet itself, video blogging, and I'm sure I'll see the next trend when it comes around the corner. I look everywhere for inspiration. Recently, I noticed that certain kids are using markers to draw tattoos on themselves and create body graffiti. Occasionally, I've used my 45-minute drive to work and wonder, what does it mean that kids are drawing their own tattoos on their own bodies? How do I capitalize on this? Where's the opportunity? Then, while I was on the Thunder Cruise, a cruise with all my fans back in April, we docked in the Bahamas and I noticed a huge line of kids at a tattoo station at Atlantis. If I were in the ink business, I'd want to create an organic, non-toxic, kid-friendly, skin-friendly brand of ink and capture that market for the kids who want to design their own tattoos. The tremendous line at the booth told me that parents are clearly ready for this. I'm not the right guy to invent the product that will fill the market, but if you do it, let me know. Being reactionary means that you're always thinking about the meaning behind a cultural change. Let's say you're at a party and a friend tells you she's canceling cable. You hear that and your radar should go off. Canceling cable? No one would have canceled cable 5 years ago. What's going on? If you haven't figured it out already, I'll tell you why this is important. It means that the day is almost here where there will be no difference between watching TV or watching online video. Cable on demand, Netflix, TiVo, YouTube, Hulu have each pushed the envelope a little further by extending the life of movies and shows and by making network programming schedules irrelevant. But the next phase will be even more dramatic. Eventually, Comcast or Time Warner is going to have to announce a new channel that airs online videos. You'll be able to use your remote to search by subject. Now the kid who draws tattoos on his arm will be able to type in body graffiti and find 45 different shows about body art on the internet. He's not only going to consume this content, he's going to create his own TV watching experience, not just swallowing what TV stations have decided to feed him. When this happens, if you happen to be hosting a graffiti video blog that first was reaching just 5,000 people, you're suddenly going to have the potential to reach hundreds of thousands, if not millions. For someone who's practicing reactionary business, someone who's looking ahead and adapting to markets and taking advantage of new opportunities to communicate, that puts a lot of media dollars into play. Thanks to social networking, we now have access to powerful, real-time, streamlined data that can allow us to steer our ships very accurately in response to trends and turn challenges into huge opportunities. But reactionary business isn't limited to business development through social media platforms. Whatever the next business phenomenon turns out to be, your reactionary business skills will be crucial in capitalizing it.